Hello, and welcome back to the Talos Principle 2. Let us continue with our second area, East 2. So in the previous episode we have completed exploration of East 1 over here. We do not have yet the gold puzzle over here, but the rest we figured out and we've done it. Now we have the same amount of stuff over here in Wooded Plateau, and we have just started to explore it. I remember that we have talked to Byron, who was over here. Maybe he's over there. Now there are of course puzzles here and there, but what immediately interests me is the statue over there. Oh, Melville. Cannot talk to her, unfortunately. So we will head out to the statue and have a look. What kind of secrets it might hold for us.
So these monuments represent each of the entities. Pandora, the Sphinx, and Prometheus.
Makes sense, I guess.
For a given value of sense.
Four, 7, 8. So my first thought is that it is related to puzzles. To puzzles 2, 4, 7, and 8, namely. Which I don't think is that egregious of a suggestion. Also, this is not the first flower-shaped monument that I have seen. There was another one in East 1. Oh, and there is this thing. The Fire of Prometheus.
I think you just picked up some kind of decryption key. Could try using it on those terminals inside the puzzles.
I assume it is to skip some of the puzzles. The mythological Prometheus was the trickster, and it seems his holographic equivalent has similar tendencies. These sparks seem designed to allow us to skip puzzles, a function which appears to run counter to whatever intent there is behind this place. Still, the terminals for using them are right there in the puzzle, so Prometheus must have some legitimate authority in all this. Sparks can be recovered by properly solving the puzzles. So you can skip the puzzle, but if you later come back to it and solve it, then you get the spark back. Is that how it was supposed to work? So we have number 5 over here. Okay, maybe we can find similar switches by the 2, 4, 7, and 8. That would be cool. Just following some paths here and there, just exploring the stuff. Maybe I am hoping to once again start with the lost puzzles, you know? Or maybe I'm looking for a lab. Oh, we have encountered the golden gate here. And interestingly enough, it also shows that there are some stars available. So will you get open when I have 24 stars? The New Theology. From The New Theology by George Bernard Shaw. The object of the whole evolutionary process is to realize God. That is to say, instead of the old notion that creation began with a God, a personal being who, being perfect, created something lower than himself, the aim of the new theology is to turn that process the other way and to conceive of the force behind the universe as working up through imperfection and mistake to a perfect organized being, having the power of fulfilling its highest purposes. In a sense, there is no God as yet achieved, but there is that force at work making God, struggling through us to become an actual organized existence, enjoying what to many of us is the greatest conceivable ecstasy, the ecstasy of a brain, an intelligence, actually conscious of the whole and with executive force capable of guiding it to a perfectly benevolent and harmonious end. That is what we are working to. Could the new humans be considered gods? Or do we think that through the new humans we can create God? Well, maybe that's just not related. From Lives of the First Companions by Randolph, 777. After these events, Niamh decided to consult the writings of the ancients. But while philosophy and religion interested her, it was art in all its forms that came as a revelation. To her delight, she discovered that meaning was not something constructed purely out of logic or will, but that it could also be found in stories. That even when the characters and events of a story were not factual, they had a validity and weight, as if they somehow were real after all. She was astonished that such a profound experience was freely available to all humans, but concerned that too few took advantage of it. So she set out to enrich the inner lives of her fellow citizens by promoting the arts, starting with the legacy of Gehenna. Niamh sounds nice. I would love to meet her one day. She must know more about New Jerusalem art history than anyone. When we do, remind me to explain how to pronounce her name. The default setting in the language libraries are wrong. From the Introduction to Leviathan by Thomas Hobbes. Nature, the art whereby God has made and governs the world, is, by the art of man, as in many other things, so in this also imitated that it can make an artificial animal. For seeing life is but a motion of the limbs, the beginning whereof is in some principal part within. Why may we not say that all automata, engines that move themselves by springs and wheels as does a watch, have an artificial life? For what is the heart but a spring, and the nerves but so many strings, and the joints but so many wheels giving a motion to the whole body, such as was intended by the artificer? Art goes yet further, imitating that rational and most excellent work of nature, man. For by art is created that great Leviathan called the Commonwealth or State, in Latin civitas, which is but an artificial man. Though a greater stature and strength than the natural, for those protection and defense it was intended, and in which the sovereignty is an artificial soul, as given life and motion to the whole. Lastly, the pacts and covenants by which the parts of this body politic were at first made, set together and united, resemble the fiat or the "let us make man" pronounced by God in the creation. It's obvious that Hobbes has read Straton and is extrapolating the Talos Principle to the level of the state. But unlike Straton, all he wishes for at the end of the day is a powerful ruler to control this machine, to tell him what to do. Wow. That is some heavy literature. I'm here to solve puzzles, for God's sake. I don't know if they want me to do it in a particular order or not. I'm afraid that I might be doing it all in the wrong order. Okay, I found one of the lost ones, by the way. The lost ones do not have any switches to them. Whoop. What in the... What are the walls that you can drill through? Because clearly you do not drill through this thing. Oh, you will probably be able to drill through this thing instead. But you need to disable the field first. Okay. Or we need to drill through here. That is more or less clear. I need both of these to open, so I need to deliver maybe another cube there. Okay. So clearly this is a hole for lasers, it's not a hole that I may be able to use. Can I pass objects through it? Nice. Because now... But why? Because that works just as well. So you cannot drill through the other wall unless you somehow move the driller. There is no way this thing can work. Yeah, it cannot work through this thing, so... Why there? Why do we have it here? I need two objects to deal with this thing. I cannot pass objects through here. Okay, you cannot do... But you can do through this thing. Okay. I need driller to stay here. So... And from there... Okay. So, I was thinking, like, if this thing would be over there, then with the driller I can open one of them, right? force the thing in the middle. It goes over there, then you open the driller and then you can take another thing. But that would still require me to set up something over here. And as soon as I take this guy away, so this whole area is closed. I mean, I can try to pass the cube like this again, but why? Why would I pass the cube like this? There are other ways to pass the cube. What am I missing? I can make holes. I can connect to points. And I can press buttons. Why? So I can do this. But I cannot do that. I wanted to do something like that with the connector, but I cannot keep this door open unless you connect stuff to it, right? And I myself, I cannot pass through this thing anyhow, right? It's not like there is some control to crouch. It's not that kind of a game. Photo mode. No, nothing that would relate to crouch. So I either need to somehow pass the drill, but hold on. No, not you. No. No. Yes. Yes. Boom! Okay. Thank you, brain.
I can't help but notice that many of these structures are not strictly functional. There's a sense of aesthetics, of beauty here. This place might be meant to test us somehow, but perhaps there's more to it than that.
Oh, that was one of our lost puzzles. Ideally, I want to find the lab, of course. I would prefer to start with the lab. And that's number 8 over there. Another monument. Yeah, with the green thing. Well, I believe maybe from number 8 we should be able to hit it then. We'll put a pin on that. Yeah. That must be the lab.
Looks like you found another lab. Wow, that's a lot bigger than I expected.
What were they doing here?
And who are they?
Okay. So you begin to rotate and you switch between two colors. Between the red and the blue. Straton ideas. A fragment from Straton's The Origins of Thought as quoted in a commentary by Simplicius of Cilicia. To say that material things are brought into being by ideas is to flatter ourselves, which is an error philosophers are particularly prone to, because it raises those who think above those who do. Then what is the truth that does not flatter? That the reverse is true. Ideas are brought into being by matter, and so each man's ideas are shaped by the world that surrounds him, as clay is shaped by its mold. Those who live in mountains fear cold. Those who live in deserts fear thirst. The Athenians are shaped by Athens, and the Lacedaemonians by Sparta, and likewise it is for all people. But may ideas, if we take each man to be an idea, not by deliberate action alter the shape of the mold, as you put it? To discover a method for accomplishing this is the chief purpose of philosophy, my friend. The newly discovered Heraclean manuscript, likely a lost part of the Barotti collection, contains an additional passage that differentiates between Noema, the individual mind of spirit described as an energy arising from matter, and ideas, which are produced by Noema as it interacts with the material world. Philosophy is useless if it offers no way of changing things. At least Straton tried, and didn't lie to himself. But how can we change the shape of the mold? Straton never says. Perhaps by demonstrating the fact that other shapes are possible. We can't change it all ourselves, but perhaps we could, like Alexander Drennan, create the conditions for change. Version 0.05 deployed successfully, reversion to previous settings, fixes malfunction. But what was the error? Cooling system improved. Significant improvement to disassembly. New lab space carved out. Easy to destroy, harder to create, so easy to optimize only one aspect. Improvements, insufficient energy for trials. Schematic.
The world is a wonderful place. Every day we take another step forward. Every day we come closer to the truth. The closer we get, the more I can see the beauty of the universe, the intricate perfection of its mechanisms. I am a machine, and the universe is a machine. Every part of me serves a purpose, or I could not be myself. I could not be Miranda, because that specific person could not exist without those specific parts and their specific functions. In the same way, every part of the universe serves a purpose. I think that is what we were meant to discover here.
What in the world?
1K. You just connected to an extremely powerful data stream. Are you all right?
I had a vision.
Yes. You were streaming. We all saw something. You're lucky it didn't fry your motherboard. Please, everyone, let's be careful with these terminals from now on.
Yes, let's all try not to die. More importantly, who the hell is Miranda?
There's no one by that name in New Jerusalem. I just searched the database.
Your guess is as good as mine. I mean, I don't like it must be. I would say it might be. I don't like being that confident. It must be one of the people who built this place. Like, how do you know? My original guess was that it could have been a person who visited this place before us. So maybe we're not the first new people on this island. So I guess your good is as good as mine.
A new person. Someone we've never heard of before. Someone born outside the city.
How?
Maybe I'm wrong. We have to find out more.
But where did they come from? And how many people does it take to build something this huge?
Like I said, we need to find out more.
Well, you'll be happy to hear that I'm about to fix another part of the transport system. Thanks for the files, 1K. I hope they didn't fry your brain.
Me too. Untitled Draft. Saint Eadwald identified the tetramino with the tetragrammaton and the Greek word for God, because to him the mathematical properties of the tetramino reflected God's ability to reshape the world without breaking its laws. Elohim, in his desire to impose meaning on the simulation, which was his primary function as storyteller after all, took Eadwald's heretical ideas and integrated them as the sigils of his name. But despite all these layers of obfuscation, there is some kind of truth hidden in all this. The world really is, in a sense, made up of minute parts that can be combined and recombined without breaking the underlying laws. Everything that exists is made of the same fundamental materials, and those materials are brought into existence by the same fundamental functions of reality. And yet, the miracle of existence is that we are not all one, but are in fact radically different and separate. From the Book of Reminiscence and Regret by Eustathius. In the early days of our people, a great deal of responsibility fell on my shoulders. There were few of us then, and though we are stronger and hardier than any human, we are not invincible. The world was an overgrown ruin and our resources extremely limited. It was a harsh time, but I felt passionate about the work, fired up by the many sacrifices that had brought us here. From the Ian team to the people of Gehenna, whose code was part of my personality. Bit by bit, New Jerusalem grew. We had to adapt some of the plans Drannon's team had left behind. I don't think they had expected the simulation to take as long as it did, but it was all working. That's when I made a terrible mistake. Thinking it was a way of safeguarding against disaster, I proposed the creation of a second settlement, New Alexandria. As the location was far from the dam that powers New Jerusalem, I attempted to build a thermal power station that would take advantage of a local gas reservoir. However, I foolishly used geologic data from the archive, failing to account for the amount of time that had elapsed. 5 years later, this error led to an accident that leveled the settlement and killed 31 of my fellow citizens. Of all my many regrets, this is the greatest. Eustathius never forgave himself for this mistake. He drifted away, isolated himself from everyone in New Jerusalem. But it wasn't really his fault. Yes, he made a mistake, but why was the entire weight of New Alexandria colony placed on his shoulders? A simple process of review and discussion could have prevented this entire disaster. Doesn't that mean New Jerusalem as a whole is at fault? He did his best, I feel sorry for him. But the dead remain dead, and that has to be faced. New Alexandria. Maybe Miranda is from New Alexandria? Will we meet some other colony, new human colony over here? Ethics of extinction. If a species we consider beautiful and remarkable goes extinct, we consider that a great evil. Dolphins, for example. If dolphins go extinct, that's a great loss. If humanity causes dolphins to go extinct, that's a crime. But if Yersinia pestis, the bacterium that causes bubonic plague, goes extinct, is that an equally great loss? If not, why not? To nature there is no difference, it's all just life forms. The only moral framework that allows us to choose between dolphins and the plague is a human one. What about a species going extinct without anthropogenic factors? Extinction is the norm. If one day dolphins are no longer capable of competing with other species, should we let them go extinct? When the sun finally dies and all life goes extinct, will that be a tragedy? If we can prevent it, should we? If you believe that extinction is acceptable when nature does it, but not when we do it, then you don't actually oppose extinction. You don't believe that dolphins are inherently valuable, but that they deserve to live and thrive. You just oppose human control. You oppose our ability and responsibility to choose. And that's when I was about ego. When I'm saying that new humans should adjust the goal, that maybe they should have more than 1,000 people, maybe they should have more than one colony, and then I say that maybe it's my egoism talking. See, I want human control over it. I want to decide when we go extinct. I don't want it to just happen to us. For anyone who missed it, Byron's expedition has recovered evidence of the existence of another person, someone not from New Jerusalem. Who could this be? What does this mean? Maybe there is another city out there. Who says there was only one simulation? Maybe there are thousands of people we've never met. I really hope so. There is only one founder. I hate to agree with Thekla, but all the historical evidence we have points to that conclusion. There were some other attempts, but as far as we know, they all went wrong or failed. There's more that we don't know, that there is that we know. That sentence is going to make my brain crash. Why do we think Miranda is from Earth? There is no evidence to support that idea. Oh, just Byron passing me. I want to believe that there was more than one attempt to save humanity, so... Some people affiliated with the Institute for Applied Noematics tried to set up a secondary site at another dam, but after a century the dam collapsed and took whatever was happening inside that system with it. There was also a similar attempt by another organization, but without the test of free will that Alexander Drennan devised. According to Lifthrasir, it never produced a viable mind before it ran out of power. Could there still be others out there? Theoretically. But even our dam would have collapsed without extensive repairs, and even a nuclear power plant would have run out by fuel now. Yeah, I believe I've been here. That's when I discovered the first switch. This architecture is just so amazing. I love these like brutalist blocks. Okay, that is not something I expected. Wait a second. Okay.
While exploring the forest, I came across a site of primal force. A beautiful stag, standing on a hill silhouetted against the setting sun. It appeared like a messenger from some divine natural power, perhaps from Gaia herself. Even to a being such as myself, less susceptible to manipulation by instincts and hormones, it was clearly a moment of revelation. In such moments, we are told to avert our eyes. But what if we do not? What will we discover if we look more closely? If we could speak to the stag, what wisdom would it have to offer? The answer is none. The stag is an animal of overwhelming stupidity, driven only by fear, hunger, and lust. There is no abyss for us to plunge into behind this revelation. Rather, the revelation is as flat and unreal as the plywood walls of a film set.
Who is the Lifthrasir? Again, it's not part of our expedition. Our expedition here is for the first time, right? So 1K found a recording of Lifthrasir, and what an odd recording too. I know he's one of the, first companions, but I don't actually know that much else about him. Don't think I've ever seen him around either. Can someone explain? Lifthrasir always had an unusual perspective, even in the very beginning. He traveled a lot, sometimes living for years. He built a kind of mobile recharging station so he didn't need to come back to the city as often, although it was quite risky as the solar panels had a tendency to break rather quickly. But he had no problem taking risks if he felt they were really necessary, and exploration was necessary to him. Lifthrasir would record his thoughts as he explored and then publish them when he returned. Over the centuries, he accumulated a group of admirers, or disciples if you prefer. In the period of crisis surrounding Athena's disappearance, they left the city, headed into the unknown, and we haven't heard from them since. Is the recording I found one of those he published back in the day? Not as far as I can tell. Perhaps it's something he decided to shelve, or something he only shared with close friends like Athena. We have a source and a sink over here. A force field over there. And another sink over here, and that will be our final thing. Okay. So we will need at least a couple of things. Yeah, we can theoretically... No, we cannot. No, you cannot. Let's think about it. I can make a hole here for some reason. And maybe it will point over there. If I... Yeah, that's a bit of a problem. I need to get this one. But how? Because there are very few points of reference where I can see the thing. Well, okay, in any case, what I need to start with, I cannot reach this thing and I cannot do anything with it. So I can only work with this connector and with this drill thingy. So I need to come up with some solution. This gives me access to... But that doesn't help me much, does it? Yeah. As expected. Could it be that I'm missing some element over here? I don't think so. No, I... Yeah, it's... I cannot push it far enough. Likewise over there, it's also not gonna work, right? It actually will. Okay. That is good. That is a start, because then we can put this thing over here. Oh yeah, that should work nicely. Okay. Now I need you. I need you.
To extract an audio file from 1K's data stream incident. It's hard to be sure because it's just a fragment, but I think it's some kind of log or diary.
We finished a new lab today. Some processes are still harder than others, but energy output was up 2,000%. It's incredible how each leap forward enables another. The next iteration of the machine will...
So as we suspected, someone was experimenting here, but experimenting on what? What was this machine they were building?
Maybe it's whatever powers the megastructure.
But then this still brings up questions of what is the purpose of the megastructure, right? What is the purpose of the machine? I believe that's number 3. Yep. What is it that drives historical processes? It's easy to dismiss the idea of the great man, or the great woman for that matter, when clearly so much is determined by resource distribution, pre-existing political structure, and the randomness of the universe itself. But is there no space at all for the individual in all this? Are there not moments when, in Hegelian fashion, an individual may represent the world spirit itself? Was Napoleon a history on horseback or not? Or is that itself another form of determinism? From Augustus to Napoleon, from Lincoln to Lenin, there are individuals whose actions seem to drive rather than merely be driven by history. They make bold choices, for good or ill, they transform entire societies. Or do they? We like to blame them for their failures, but are they not ultimately just the expression of a historical moment? But if they are, where is the space for human agency? It sometimes seems to me that all of human history has been that one struggle, to carve out a space for free choice against the tides of history, and heroes and tyrants, pick and choose examples as you will, are both equally a reflection of that. Our great goal then ought to be to extend that freedom to the maximum number of people, to become captains of our own fate as much as that is possible in this universe. From Hypatia's journals, the founding of New Jerusalem. Melampus and Niamh went back to the dam to get more charging equipment. They've not returned yet, which means that we're stretched a little thin, since we're still posting guards at all times. But those large herbivores haven't come back yet, and at any rate Eustathius assures us that they're non-aggressive. But it's better not to take any chances. Not when there's so few of us and so many of them. Athena and Cornelius and Eustathius spent most of their time drawing up plans and arguing. In a friendly manner, but arguing still. The rest of us are managing to tune them out pretty well. It's like background noise after a while. We have started construction on the first habitat. It's going to be a temporary structure for now, but we'll all be glad to get out of the rain. Hopefully this time we get more of Trevor, and he will not get interrupted.
What are you doing here, Trevor? Why are you trying to save the world? Well, look, I think humanity is awesome. I love humanity. As a species, we're great. I mean, our track record is pretty mixed, but have you seen everyone else? I mean, what did you do today, animal? Oh, I ate some leaves, sniffed my own butt, crapped myself, and went extinct. Or, you know, I tore this other animal limb from limb, sniffed my friend's butt, crapped myself, and went extinct. They really don't do anything interesting. I mean, you don't see animals directing Big Trouble in Little China. Birds can go tweet, tweet, but it ain't exactly the White Album. I mean, they can't even make a good cheeseburger, for Christ's sakes. They have no art, no cuisine, no pleasure. Animals are nice to look at, but you wouldn't want to be one. Except maybe a cat. I could be a cat.
I don't think it's very condescending to say that animals do not have art. Have you seen the bird mating dances? Have you seen how birds make their nests? Is that not art?
Every answer leads to another question. The last answer leads to the first question.
Okay. Now I want to... Yes, I want to get number 8 first, because that might give me a star. Seesaw! Okay, we have a connector and a drill. Cool. No, that's the wrong one. But do you even need that one? I mean... Beep. Bob. Done. Now here you have a problem. You have a very big problem here. Though it is funny that you can do something like this. And the red goes from here, so you can place this like... Okay. So now you can get in. Wait, but didn't you require green over there?
So glad I'm not in charge of solving these.
I've relayed your responses to my friends, and they have reached certain conclusions regarding your character. Would you like to hear them? Sure. Unfortunately, while they found you to be a person of great interest, none of them is willing to make you your acquaintance at this time. Why did they come to this conclusion? You told me it was never okay to lie, even to keep a secret. You must understand these are individuals who value their privacy and expect their friends to do the same. Your position is commendable but hardly compatible with human relationships. Well, what kind of relationships are you in then? You must know someone who shares my moral convictions. With such moral conviction, I can only think of one person who might be prepared to work with you. There's a guy in the city. He's just like you. He'd let New Jerusalem burn before going against his moral code. He's kind of abrasive if you ask me. Too many years in archive research, but I suppose I can ask if he's willing to meet you. Well, put us in touch. You need green, right? So I cannot just shove. Like this would not work, will it? Yeah, clearly you need a green one, not a blue one. You are green one, right? I'm not messing it up. You look green to me, yeah. So I need a shifter. I need to find a shifter. And if I cannot find it here, then perhaps I can find it in some other place. Let me see. Over here was another puzzle.
I've been meaning to talk to you. This, vision you had, the data stream overload. How did it feel?
It was frightening.
I'm not surprised. Your consciousness was being directly affected by an outside force. If it happens again, be careful. We're sturdier than our ancestors, but a mind is still a fragile thing.
I promise to be careful. As much as I can. Which doesn't mean it's a lot, unfortunately. What in the... Oh. Okay. I don't have that many options over here. See, can I reach this thing? I can. That is a good start. So I can open this thing and now I have a shifter. And shifters are great. Because if I can get a red source, I can also make these things. And now we have a problem. Maybe we don't. God damn it. Almost.
Thinking, why puzzles? Is it just their symbolic value because of our history? Because the thing about puzzles is they can be solved. But if this is about testing us, what are we being tested for? It can't just be about spatial reasoning.
Our curiosity? Our persistence?
You're assuming that this place follows a coherent logic. My impression is that it's full of contradictions.
I'm very pleased that there were trails in the sky, you know. That I was able to spot that there are connectors going from not the nearest puzzle, but... Oh, no you don't. It doesn't go to this thing, but it goes close enough so it does not connect. But what you can now do... Nice. And after all of that, we can go to puzzle 1.
The hunter does not hunt because he is hungry. He hunts because he revels in death.
That's it.
What can I do for you?
What do you make of the Sphinx?
Whatever that being is, it told us that we stand before the fire. That can only be a warning, and I think we should take it seriously. We don't want another new Alexandria.
So perhaps New Alexandria is not some secret other settlement that existed and then stopped existing, right? But it is indeed the other attempt at the colony, and it was an unsuccessful one. And maybe they were more careful with the New Jerusalem now. Anyway, this is the point where I would like to bring an episode to a close. I think we're making decent progress. We got the stars, we got the unnumbered puzzles, the lost puzzles, we found the lab, so I believe we can... we should be able to clear out the remaining area in the next episode and then complete 2 areas. And that would be cool. Now, with that, thank you so much for staying with me. I hope you enjoy my company and my gameplay, and if that is the case, then please leave me a like and subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, let me know down in the comments what I can improve for you. I hope to see you next time. Have a nice day out there, and bye.